Let's go ahead and get started. What's happening, everyone? Hope we're all having a good one. Welcome to Take2Podcast, which is no longer starting soon. It's starting now. There we go. Let's go ahead and boop it over to the screen. There we go. Hope we're all having a good one. Let me bring in SDan Nerd here. What's up, SDan Nerd?
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? How you doing? Oh, hey, wait. I gotta turn the music down so people can hear you. There we go. Here, keep talking. I forgot. We haven't done this in a little bit.
Africa Pack discussion. Africa Pack discussion.
There it is. Now they
testing,
can actually
testing.
They can actually hear you. They can hear the music a little bit for ambiance, and we are kicking and rolling. But hey, what's up, bud?
Nothing. Just pleasantly excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm like, obviously, like, we'll just get the million-pound elephant out of the room. Like, yes, we both have the pack. No, we can't give a review or like a in-depth discussion on it, right? But I feel like we can kind of, based off of what we've seen this week from Frontier officially, we can kind of gauge our excitement for tomorrow's pack. And yeah, kind of like you just said, I'm also really excited for tomorrow and for everyone to get their hands on this.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those deals where it kind of feels like it has aquatic pack vibes to it, just because I just like the kind of like the aura around this pack already, like, just judging it from like a community like engagement standpoint. This one hits different.
It feels like a buzz, like, right? Like there's a buzz in the community. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I tweeted out this morning. I'm like, this just has a really good energy to this pack. Like, this is no BS. But, and two, I'll ask you this too, Drew. Like, I think you're right with me. If this would have just been another animal pack, no way we'd have this type of buzz.
And nothing against anyone that really liked the C pack. And for what it's worth, the Southeast Asia animal only pack did have some merit. But you can't do that, right? We felt the almost, let's say, dark cloud come over the community for like the last month. And I think that was just really because there was nothing to really build off of. You got the animals from the sea pack, and then you're like, okay, I built, my few habitats. Now what is there to, like you would always say, what is there to fall back on now?
I mean, yeah, because even sometimes when we get 180, 150, 200 scenery pieces, it still kind of dies down pretty bad at the end of a cycle.
Yeah.
Well, this time though, like it was really
it's really bad. I mean,
like,
you and I both stopped playing the game for about a month and a half there.
Yeah, we pretty much took May off. But one caveat to that is, and Linda pointed it out, that I did start Lost Creek post Southeast Asia pack. So, I mean, in a way, it kind of forced me to look at the pieces we have and make creative decisions and go with a story with nothing new provided. So,
yeah, right.
It's kind of a little toss up, but really, I mean, even that wasn't enough to really keep me playing the game throughout May.
I mean, nothing beats new pieces, right? New Lego pieces to play with.
And that's why I think people are going to be so enveloped into the game again tomorrow. I know just from you and I, and we are just fully back. Like, okay, Drew and I probably we've spent more hours in Planet Zoo probably in the last 6 days than probably we have in the last 6 weeks.
Oh, easily. Easily. Yeah, I am I've told a few people, I am fully back into Planet Zoo. I was just telling you guys today, I was coming up with another new idea on top of the 2 or 3 new project ideas I already have. And it's like, no, wait, we need to stop and slow down. And I was even saying on stream the other day, I want to stream so bad, but I can't stream anything.
I've had to make myself stop with ideas because I'm like, wait, I want to stream this for people. I don't want to just build by myself here and record a time lapse of it. I'm like, let's just wait and chill, and we will dive headfirst into this, starting probably tomorrow evening.
So even though, again, I'll probably keep reiterating this, even though we can't dive into details about what we know with the pack and everything, we can still, if you look at the screenshots that are kind of flying by here, if you look at, especially this one here that looks over the main building, or there's a rhinoceros shot that kind of showed a lot of building pieces, but you can kind of decipher what's coming. I would kind of put it with South America and Australia pack with all the little goodies that we're getting as far as small building pieces go. And I think the really small intricate builders are going to love this pack with all the little goodies we're getting.
Yeah, and another thing too that I did not actually check out. I wasn't even thinking about it because I was just kind of looking through all the new building pieces and what's going on with that. But the foliage that we're getting with this, people are going to crap their pants. They did such a good job. Look right in this screenshot. Did you see? But look behind the little meerkats.
The grasses. Oh my god.
That is new. It's gorgeous. The new foliage they've given us. You guys are really the exposed bark and the trees.
Yeah, and that's funny because every single update video I've posted for the Africa pack, someone's put in there the meerkats look great, but also ... what about them grasses though? And it's yes, because it's been so long since we've had official new foliage come with a Planet Zoo DLC, right? So it's always super exciting.
Normally that's been getting skipped. It's almost been okay, what we have is what we have, and that's. But this time, I mean, they have pumped up some foliage for us.
And you were kind of talking. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you were kind of mentioning it with the grasses, and if you look at them, I was talking about it yesterday in my video. Doesn't it look? Don't they just look better than what we've gotten before? There was a graphics improve almost, especially with the grasses. I feel like.
Yeah, and with the trees and stuff that they'll see tomorrow. Even the texture on the bark, it just all looks like it's been given a second look or something. It's a little weird. It's a little different. And two, when you get to see the rhinos in particular,
Oh my gosh.
they have a different pop to them as well. Like, I don't know if they're trying something different, but it's different. They look incredible.
If you're a longtime Planet Zoo player, you'll know it. Like, just remember us saying this. Like, look at the foliage and look at a few of the animals, and they just look better. Like, again, it just looks like there was like an upgrade.
Yeah, or it's like they almost like they toned back the cartooniness.
Yeah,
almost.
and it's more sharp now, like a sharp contrast to it instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, I dig it. I definitely dig it. And again, if you look at the grasses, those little small grasses in the background, I think that definitely showcases what we're talking about the most there. But
I do not. I also too one of the big elephants in the room is I do not think people are going to be disappointed with the meerkats. Remember, there was a lot of going back and forth about what they were actually going to be capable of,
right?
What it's going to look like. Without Drew and I like really being able to tell you what's going to happen, you're going to be pleased. It's like a really, really awesome animation with what they've done.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I thought was going to happen. I do know that there will probably be a small subset of people that will be disappointed, just because they want to see like the entire thing happen, you know, as far as like tunneling and underground and stuff.
Yeah,
but it's kind of exactly how I thought it was going to be, and it's perfect.
I think they took the process of showing us what the meerkats do, like as far as the game would let them. You know, I am fine. You know, that's the thing about this too, Drew. Like, I cannot pick on Frontier for anything about this that I've witnessed or been involved with. It's just they did a good job on this, man. Like, we have to give props where props are due. Like, this is, and you all know us. We are no BS. If we call it like we see it, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. We don't, you know.
Right, we'll tell you.
This is good, guys. This is a quality pack.
And, you know, something that we rag on kind of a lot, and, you know, some people will call us out for focusing on this so much, but is even the communication side. I felt that on Twitter and the forums, and, well, that, you know, that was kind of the funny thing. It's a lot of the really juicy information that we got as far as like, hey, we're getting mesh fences, or, you know, hey, we're getting, I think the search function was leaked through the forums. Tim and Jens and a few others on the Planet Zoo team, they're being real sneaky, but they're doing it in a really fun way where they're making you check the forums or check their Twitter or check their, you know, Instagram to find all this like cool little juicy bits of info popping out.
Man, and I don't know, like, if it's just because they're new, they're really, really trying to be engaging and helpful and fun, but I really like those two. Like, they are really just, they seem like they would play this game in their off time.
Sure, right.
Like, you get what I mean by the whole, like, the shift, that, like, kind of like the communication shift that has occurred with this pack, and just Dalia and all of them. It's
Dahlia.
It's been a little bit of a Dahlia. Sorry, it's been different, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's
why is everything so different all of a sudden? Do you think it was the Elite Dangerous debacle?
I do.
That has really like saved the other franchises from the quiet community awkwardness.
Right. And, you know, like, for those of you that don't know what, when we mentioned the Elite debacle, Elite Dangerous, for those of you that don't know, is like Frontier's baby. Like, the CEO, he like will fall on a sword for Elite Dangerous kind of thing. It's been a franchise that's been around since the 80s and stuff, so it's a long historic kind of franchise there, and Frontier that's kind of their baby. But anyways, they released a really big update for that game that went disastrously bad, and a lot of really big Elite Dangerous content creators, and these are guys that are getting like, you know, 100,000 to like 200,000 views annually kind of thing. They called Frontier on their crap. They were just like, you know, what was this? You know, you basically lied to us, because during pre-release the communication was staggered to non-existent, and what they did tell them didn't happen, and just it was bad. Like, the CEO even came out of Frontier and was like, our bad, we're gonna fix this. So anyways,
Yeah, that absolutely never happens.
Right,
Like
no, he's
David
usually
Blackman does. Yeah, he's like usually, he'll come in and congratulate the teams and stuff when things go good and sales are good. But I have never, like, since 2014,
Yeah.
I've never seen him come out and actually apologize
Right.
for the development release.
So like all that,
And he,
all that being said, like what Estain was asking, did that affect it? I think it did, because again, with Elite being such an important game to Frontier, and the community as a whole, kind of calling them on their stuff. I bet you that they had a not just Elite Dangerous meeting, but like a company.
You're thinking it reverberated like out to the different franchises.
Right. Well, and Toes nailed it.
Like,
Toes nailed it on the head. The share price took a dump. Yes. So not only did it affect, Frontier, but it affected the shareholders of Frontier, who probably were like, hey, we're supposed to be making money, not losing it like this. So, money.
We should have jumped on some of that. Like my financial lady, she's like, well, the only thing is, if you're going to buy that, you need to buy a minimum of $2,000.
Yeah, because it's on a different exchange and all that.
I don't really want, I mean, I believe in them. I just don't $2,000 believe.
Yeah, I don't want to redo my refinance my mortgage just to invest in Frontier. but
no, man, I know it was a bad situation for them, but for us Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, Frontier nerds, it's only a good thing for us.
Yeah.
And I think if people that are just jumping into this are probably like, what are you guys talking about? The communication's been great these last couple weeks, and that's our point. We're like, this, and like, okay, my biggest point is things in our world that didn't happen pre 6 weeks ago. The Tim dude telling us that chain mesh fencing was coming in 1.6, just casually on the forums. Like, that never happened.
That was like a you know what that reminded me of was Spoiler Sam. That was like a Spoiler Sam moment from Planet Coaster days. So I agree. It feels like they kind of, we've kind of theorized about the communications that it started at the top with kind of a reined in approach, and it does kind of feel like they've kind of been like, you know what, let's let you guys do what we hired you to do, kind of thing. Go out and be a communications team.
Yes, ask us what you need, but go ahead and you've got more freedom to drip information to, like, don't feel like everything has to be ultra secret, like just presented in just little tiny specific increments, and do not say anything more, do not say anything less, do not engage, do not reply to direct questions.
Yeah, right. And and like I see Lion Rider say, the question is, will it continue, or will we kind of slip into that 3 months of silence until the next DLC? And it probably will. We'll probably get that a bit of silence, but I just hope that they don't slip back into only doing like the dung beetle can roll a piece of poop the size of Estan's head daily, just try and figure something out a little bit more engaging for the community than random animal facts and Mega Monday. That's a big dung. Yeah, I know, it's a big piece of shit there.
But man, speaking of continuing with the with our little communication tirade we're on here, that was a freaking awesome devlog article they put out today.
That was great.
Not to hate on them or to sound condescending, but I typically don't read those. Like, if it's just some audio guy or just some, this is what we do with the dingo poop, and
I understand.
This time I was like, I read the first paragraph and I'm like, I'm listening.
Right, that's interesting.
Ended up going through the whole thing and like not wanting it to end. I was like, this is awesome. Where are more of these devlogs at? I was hoping it was actually going to be a video one, like they did at launch. Remember?
Oh yeah,
those video ones where they talk to people. Hopefully, when the when the restrictions, of course, I know they re-upped on the UK for another month. Kind of like their lockdown for one more month.
Yeah, yep.
But hopefully, once they get back into the studio, maybe we'll get some more of those behind the scenes type videos, and
those
where
are
they're
great.
showing us concept art. But That was pretty interesting today. I enjoyed that article thoroughly.
Yeah, definitely. You know, that reminds me, in that article, they kind of talked about something we haven't really discussed, which is coinciding with the Africa pack coming out. Don't forget, we have update 1.6 coming with this, and hot damn, man, that's a great update, isn't it? With the search function, you got the mesh fences coming in. We got the bears. The bears are deep diving now. I mean, there's just like,
and then of course too, Drew and I were saying the search function is a godsend.
Oh my gosh, it's like
like I literally just, and it's intuitive too. So like when I was looking to I was building a meerkat exhibit for Suyana. Probably you all will see it tomorrow. You type in M, and all the animals that start with M immediately pop up right there, so you can click on it. Like it literally takes from minutes searching for an animal or clicking through next to 1.8 seconds to find the animal you're looking for. I mean, as long as you know how to spell and you know what the game specifically calls the animal, you're right on it. So
and like you were saying, like I was just
love that function.
I was just doing I started a rhino enclosure right before this. So even if you don't want to type out southern white rhino, you can just type in rhino, and boom, there's both the rhinos right there. You know, Indian and southern rhino and stuff. So yeah, I'll always say, like, I can't believe it took this long for us to get a very basic search function in the game, but I'm very glad we have that.
That's like this 1.6. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of like it's like the teacher left the room and all the kids are like, all right, let's do what we really should, let's do what we really want to do. And that's what like update 1.6 is. It's kind of like the producers or something just let the devs just, okay, let's give these gamers what they've been asking for since like 20,
when the game released, essentially.
Yeah, the game released.
Man, right.
And that seems like it's happening. And
and another thing that's
really
kind of part of that is the it just popped up there is the what do they call them? The roster points, not the roster points, the Vista Points. Gosh, I forgot the name of it. The Vista Points, like those, that's something that we have been requesting for like, when Planet Zoo released, essentially. So now everyone that makes those like implied exhibits, or if you have an area where your guests aren't really going to and you want them to head over there, now you have this Vista Point function that's just so nice.
Yeah, and it's like that was another thing they even like called out. They're like the Planet Coaster veterans of our community will appreciate this, but Planet Zoo is getting Vista Points, and that was definitely one of those things that were high up on the why did that not make it over? Right,
yeah. So because exactly, like you have so many people like Drock and Mealy and others who make these amazing implied exhibits, but then you place down the implied animal and the implied you had the meerkats and prairie dogs forever in your zoo, and no one would ever walk over to it, but now you can kind of slip in one of these Vista Points and be like, hey, walk over here, guest, take a look.
Dude, besides North American type animals, I am like running out of animals to do implied exhibits for. Like pretty much I'm at the point where I want to make exhibits for the animals we have now.
No, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, but too, then of course I know you're probably going to want to touch on our modding part of the community. Is going to be completely borked. So I guess Drew and I will just tell you all right now, absolutely make sure you have all of your mods, particularly if you have a zoo that you're really, really fond of and you want to be able to get back into it without Planet Zoo crashing to the desktop, you're going to have to get rid of all your mods for now. Like, you have to go in and get rid of them.
Right.
Lion Rider and them were telling us that with this update and with this DLC, the OVL files have actually changed. So none of your mods can work past this point.
So and this is all mods, not just scenery. This is all mods. So animal mods, scenery mods, pack mods. So what I mean by pack mods is if you downloaded like the woolly mammoth pack or the flamingo pack from Leaf, you got to get rid of all that stuff. Just move it to a backup folder for now. The modders they have been working on a tool to get everything fixed day one, so hopefully it's looking like day one we'll have an update. So but yeah, just as a precaution, we don't want anyone's stuff to break, so just go ahead and, like Esteen was saying, just kind of move all your stuff out and delete all of your mods within your zoos that you really care about.
I got hung up when they first gave me the pack because I had thought I had gotten rid of everything, and I was telling Lion Rider Leaf, I was like, thank God I didn't go ham on Suyana with modding pieces, because Suyana wouldn't let me go back into it because there was one, and it's a freaking awesome fence piece that Lion Rider was letting me test out from his Safari pack.
Yeah.
But there was one fence piece left underneath a rock I had around the splash pad in Suyana. So I totally backed out of the beta, and like how you can back out of the DLC,
right.
the beta branch.
Right.
And thank God you can do that. So I backed out of that, had to wait for the 8 gigabyte download to reverse. So then I was able to get back into Suyana, found that fence piece, deleted it, then reinstalled the beta, reinstalled the Africa pack, and I'm back in perfectly fine now. But yeah, if you have one little piece out there somewhere of a mod, you will be stopped. It will crash to the desktop.
So there's your we've been kind of sprinkling warnings throughout, but yeah, I figure everyone that's listening here probably has a mod or has considered mods or something like that. So definitely heed our warnings. We are letting you know right here and now to do that. And just if you're not, join Nicholas Line Rider's Discord or follow one of the main modders on Twitter, or on my Discord. I'll let people know as well. We have a really active modder community over there as well. So, but yeah, we you will know when it is okay to put the mods back in, or if you need to download new files or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's like Lion Rider and Leaf said, we don't think it was done on purpose to we're gonna screw over these modders.
No,
they're
that'd be
upgrading
dumb.
the engine. So it's just one of those things, and that may lead back to why Drew and I think things look just a little different. We think they're making tweaks to the engine, and it's one of those tough deals where if you had a bunch of mods this go around, you're gonna have to get rid of them.
And just because I know there's a lot of people, it seems like, that are new to modding in general for video games with Planet Zoo, which is totally understandable. But just know that this is kind of a regular thing, at least up until the game is done with development. I always reference The Sims. The Sims does this with mods. Whenever a new update comes out for The Sims, all the modders and everyone, they know to get rid of their
Yeah, you'll hear it. That people will say, "Oh, it broke." The mods are. And when they say that, they mean the actual devs have went in and updated the game or whatever, and it borks us. It borks everything.
It's just one of those things that kind of comes with a in development game kind of thing. So, but something, speaking of the mods and the files and everything, something that the modders and other people noticed is that we have some more content folders added to the game, basically. So what that means is essentially that's another DLC folder. So it looks like, and don't take this as religion or anything, because these can get kind of taken out, put back in, but
you never know.
But yeah, it looks like there's 2 more as of right now. 2 more content folders have been added. So it looks like we have at least 2 more DLCs in the works there.
Yep, and so that would, let's just say June, July, August, maybe beginning of September, then October, November, December, looking for probably another, around probably before Christmas type update, before the studios and everybody goes home for the holidays. I could see that happening. Then our biggest question, Lion Rider, Leaf, Drew, that we kind of bounce back and forth. What does the spring of 2022 look like? That is the big question. Does this get developed into spring of 2022?
I've been holding out that...
Do we ever get birds? Do we, what happens?
I think, and I'm with Lion Rider and a bunch of others, the more that we see of Jurassic World Evolution 2, and today was a big day for JWE2 information, the more that we're getting birds in Planet Zoo. It's not even a question to me at this point. It's gonna happen. Like, it has to happen at this point. And
yeah, so you're saying it's not an if, it's just a when.
yeah, no, it has to, and I think that has a lot to do with the more content folders that we're getting, the fact that the OVL files are being updated, which means that the engine itself is kind of going through a revamp right now over at Cobra Engine, that is. And just everything looks like we're kind of coming to a new chapter of Frontier gaming kind of thing, or at least for Planet Zoo and or simulation gaming within Frontier. So yeah,
I'm hoping we could be surprised too, because it is kind of like. Guinevere said, sometimes I wish Planet Zoo DLCs weren't so predictable.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like that sometimes too. I'm just kind of like, I wish we could go back to the Planet Coaster days where you really had no clue. Like, you were sitting there like just on the edge of your freaking computer chair, waiting to see what was about to happen. Yeah, had no freaking clue.
But this time around, you kind of... I guess it's kind of okay, but I see what you're talking about. But it's just the fact that you could tell they were going right after the Planet Coaster roadmap, essentially, right? You could just kind of tell us. It's like, oh, okay, I get what we're doing here. DLC every 3 months.
And here's another thing that we were kind of speculating on. Do they get more niche after? Like the North America, if we get a North America pack, do they get more niche where different regions start taking over as DLCs? Or do we pretty much get what else could be next? North America, whatever, and then it's over? Or what I'm saying, do they do a Congo pack or a rainforest pack? You know what I'm saying? Get a little more centralized, with a region.
Maybe, yeah, I could maybe see that, but I almost see it again, I'm going to keep comparing it to Planet Coaster because they've done the Planet Coaster model all the way up until now. So I can see the next two DLCs being what was in the 4chan leak. So if those of you that didn't see that or see Lion Rider's video on it, that is going to be North America and then birds. So those are the next two DLCs. And I think that sounds pretty good. And then the last two DLCs, or last three DLCs, I think we'll get two DLCs of just animals, 16 animals between two DLCs that were leftover things, kind of like we got in Planet Coaster.
Do you think it could be like Mark said? Does an aviary pack? Do we get that?
That's a good point.
All it is. It's just an aviary pack, and we get 8 or 9 birds.
Right. That's a good point, man. I keep saying I'm going to compare it to the Planet Coaster model, but if they are bringing in birds and they're bringing in digging animals, meerkats and stuff, and we have aquatic animals now, I mean, to me, that just sounds like they're lined up for the next 10 years, to release a DLC every 3 months on different animals. But this is Frontier we're talking about, and they don't really do that. So I don't know that they would.
And it would short themselves, I think, if they do another region pack and there's only one bird as a part of the 5 animals, look how much trouble that would cause them, as people saying oh my God, you picked that bird over, you could have done this, this, and this, and this. Whereas if you give people an avian only pack, then you can pump in 8 or 9 different flying birds and maybe, cast out a wider net of the community wants,
Well, and that's a good point, because with an avian pack, you're kind of introducing a world of hurt from a developer standpoint, because when I say avian pack, to some people that means, a stork. To me, that means I want a blue jay and a cardinal. To you, that could mean, some Asian...
Yeah, a condor.
Something. So that's and it's kind of, you could say the same thing if they introduce fish or anything else that, avian covers such a wide variety of types of bird that it's if they're going to introduce it, you can't just have 4. There's no way they can just introduce 4 birds and be okay, that was fun, bye. So...
Yeah, there's our birds for Planet Zoo.
Yeah, that would be...
Because then people would you'd have to fall back on mods. I mean, at least Leaf and Lion Rider and them would have the means to go off of, a couple birds. But as far as the vast majority of the community gets, how do you only get away with, just giving the main community only 4 birds and calling it quits,
right? And that's why I do think we will get birds, but I'm just worried that the birds we're gonna get are gonna be disappointing to people. Just like you said, I think we'll just get like a condor, a stork, you know, and then just like like 4 big capital birds. I don't even know what you want to call them, that are supposed to represent like the whole subspecies of bird kind of thing. So yeah, and then like you said, hopefully the modders, or maybe in TMTK, you know, if we get like an animal theme maker toolkit kind of thing, maybe they'll let us build more there. But yeah, no, that is kind of worrying to only get 4 birds.
Yeah. So I guess one of our other points that we kind of wanted to touch on everybody with, because this has kind of like become the proverbial beaten horse, but what comes after the North American pack? Like if that becomes a thing, there's no other thing that just pops out of my head. Like once people say, are we ever going to get a North American pack? There is no, yeah, but what about so-and-so pack?
Yeah, I mean, you see,
so
like...
what's in your head, Drew? Can you think of...
Yeah, you see people want a Europe pack, or like some sort of European pack, and then like you were talking about earlier, like it kind of starts to get into like subsections, like, you know, Sub-Sahara or the Everglades, or, you know, it starts
like
to...
an Everglades pack, yeah.
Right, so I just saw that.
No one say
I know,
European
everyone always
pack.
says a European pack, and then people are like, well, what animals do you want? And they're like, a deer. I'm like, okay, you got 3 more animals, go. And they're like, another deer. I'm like, okay, so not really anything in the European pack. Got it.
You're a stinky.
That's funny. So yeah, that's a question. So I didn't play a lot of Zoo Tycoon back in the day, any of them, but how would you feel about a prehistoric pack or an endangered species pack?
Well, with Jurassic World Evolution 2 coming now,
yeah, what's the
I think
point,
that's
right?
just dead in the water.
Yeah, what's the point?
I just don't think, like at this point, I don't think that'll ever happen with Planet Zoo. But I don't know. You know, they could take it a weird direction, like maybe like historically more recent extinction pack. You know, like dodo birds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But are we ever going to see, like, you know, a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Oh, I hope not.
Officially, you know,
I hope not.
Planet Zoo? No, that's not going to happen. But
like, and you know, I could see the appeal and how fun that would be for Zoo Tycoon. It just kind of fit into that like Zoo Tycoon bit. It just feels like Planet Zoo is just a little bit more like, I don't know how to, like, grown up or like more mature of a quote unquote game or whatever. So just like introducing that kind of stuff would just kind of feel a little bit it was weird, right? It just
kind of cartoony. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to see dinosaurs like in the vein of the Planet Zoo art style. Like that would be cool to see what they would try to do. But will it officially ever come? No.
Yeah, right.
No.
And yeah, I know, and I'd see a lot of people like Savannah. Savannah just, you know, rattled off a lot of really good packs and everything. It just doesn't feel like Frontier wants to go that direction. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe they're like, you know, the plan is to hit all the quote unquote like major areas, you know, Africa and Asia and North America, South America, and then like kind of dwindle down into like sub areas. But you know, the just comparing to Planet Coaster, like we didn't really do that in Planet Coaster. You know, it's not like we got like a Dark Ride pack or like a...
Oh, you know one thing that I just thought of that would be cool for like a Halloween pack?
Ooh, what
if they do a nocturnal animal pack?
I'd love that. I would absolutely
That'd
love
be cool.
that. Yeah, bats and like rats
and raccoons and, you know, stuff like that. Just do a nocturnal pack and have it coincide with Halloween or like October.
I'd love that. That'd be great.
Cool.
So, but anyways, now we're kind of just doing the whole speculation thing, aren't we? We're good at that. We're always good at the speculation bit. But, shoot, I don't know, but we're supposed to be talking about the Africa pack. We always do that. We get on a topic and then we go down the rabbit hole. But, sorry, it happens. Any other things you want to talk about with the Africa pack before, we're not going to have to wrap up, but, you know, just near the end?
Well,
that we can't talk about?
Yeah, there's so much like we can't really say other than I think it is and this is another weird too that's happened. I've noticed over the last week and a half. and you could go ahead and touch on this, Drew, but the community-wide acceptance of what they're doing this go around. Like, we have there's a lot of naysayers, a lot of very vocal community members that pretty much shit on Frontier. They hate everything. I don't think we do that. We give them a fair shake. But it seems like with this update and this Africa pack, everybody is on the same page. Like, everybody's like, this is awesome. This is what we want more of. Do your thing, Frontier.
Yeah, no, and totally, and we kind of talked about it, but they really needed to have a home run pack with this one to reinvigorate the community. I think everyone's kind of leading into this was a little bit lukewarm. I noticed on everyone's videos that the numbers are a little bit lower than they normally would be for a content pack release and everything. So they've kind of picked up as the week has gone by, and people have seen kind of what content we're getting with this pack. But I would hope everyone's getting pretty excited, because it's a fun one. It's really fun.
Yeah, because I know, because it was just, this is definitely, I think, is going to bring us back, like, really full circle back into Planet Zoo. I mean, sometimes even Savannah's like, she'll message, she'll be like, man, my last video didn't do as good as normal, and I'll look at it and it'll have like 5,000 views, and I'm like, I would kill for a 5,000 view Planet Zoo video right now. Like, so even with Savannah, who pulls in a massive amount of views and people and engagement, even hers are, from what she considers, on the low end of excitement and engagement and views. So this was called for. This needed to happen now. Like, I don't think, as far as content creators go, and I know a lot of people might be like, who gives a shit about you guys? They don't make this game for YouTubers, but I think from a content standpoint, we couldn't have survived doing Planet Zoo for another animal pack.
Oh God, no. And the vibe in the community was, if this was another animal pack, that, at least for me, I see like Lion Rider, a few others say that some people were complaining about this not being an animal pack. I personally didn't see that anywhere, that people were complaining about this not being an animal pack, because I just saw that the community died after getting an animal only pack, basically.
Yeah, and man, I mean, I remember even when Dahlia asked me to do that exhibit for the Babarusa.
Yeah, from the CPAC.
I was so not into that, man. Like, I mean, I did it to help them, and they said, they stream. Doesn't it seem like that was like 2 weeks ago? How was that like 3 months ago already?
Right.
But when they asked me to do that, and I got in, and I was just like, I don't really want to do this. I don't. This is the, like, I wish they would have done that, like, with a pack that actually had scenery, and I just, this is what we needed. This is what we needed to happen.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I'm really excited for everyone to get their hands on the pack and start playing around with it, and to finally share some content that we've been making throughout the week. I've had to go kind of quiet mode. You can always tell when creators are really having a fun time with the pack if everyone kind of goes quiet and are not really releasing many videos, basically.
Yeah. Leaf said, you guys aren't looking in the right place. People are big angry on the forums. The forums are like a place to go only for angry people.
There's only there's only 20 people on the forums that talk to each other and just yell at each other.
They hate Frontier. They hate everything Frontier does.
Seriously, no, I stay away from the forums unless someone links me to it. And whenever I go to the forums, it's always the same, like 15 to 20 people just yelling at each other.
If you want to lose your vibe, go to the forums. Like, if you want to be, and that's the thing too. That's like the only place the damn community people hang out at. Now, these 20 people are not a representation of the vast majority of the community that loves your game.
They always try and redirect people to the forums, and it's like, bro, it's not 2006 anymore. I'm not going on the forums.
Like, direct them to your Twitter and your Instagram and shit. Don't Don't send them to the forums to help other people hate on your game.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't know. Maybe we're just out of touch and forums are really a big thing still. But this, whenever I hear someone say, go on the forums, I'm like, shut up, nerd. That's not 2006.
Yeah, get out of here. But then, you know, that's what I'm thinking. Like I said, with the community managers and stuff. And I'm like, you know, maybe that's why Shantae seems like burned out at the end, because the only place you'd ever see her doing any Planet Zoo interaction was the freaking forums, where she's getting like cussed out every day, getting told that the game she's representing is worthless and the you know, a piece of shit, and I don't even know why you guys waste time on this game. And
right. And you know what? Like, you were kind of talking to me about this, and I totally agree. Like, I'm fighting back against negativity in the Planet Zoo community, because, like, I feel like, I know this sounds weird coming from SDN and I, who, like, talk shit against, you know, Planet Zoo every once in a while, but I feel like ours is kind of grounded in reality and, like, realism, or, you know, like a founded complaint or whatever most of the times. You see some people on Twitter and the forums who are just like, you know what, Planet Zoo, I don't like your font, so fuck you. It's like, whoa, dude.
Suck my ass, Planet Zoo. You didn't give us, you know, the duty back dick bird from, you know, from Mongolia. I'm just like, no. Drew and I shit on Frontier because we've like worked with them for almost 10 years now. You know, it's like we've earned we've kind of like earned the shit talking because we've put in the time with these games. And when you see just randos coming in shitting on the game, it's kind of like when people talk about you, like, you can talk shit about your family all you want. That's your family, but you're not gonna let some random stranger do it. Then you're like, hey, you kiss my ass, man. Don't talk about them like that.
Right. And even Savannah says, you two have been much more positive recently. And, you know, that's the thing, is like, I'm always someone that, like, I'll call someone on their shit when they're being shitty, and I'll do the exact opposite when the exact opposite is true. I'll praise someone, you know, when they're, you know, doing a good job, or, you know, the thing is doing good. But there's just some people that you see them, like, every post, no matter what, they're like, you know, the meerkats look good, but, and it's like, take that butt and shove it up your butt, man. Just like,
you know, I've got some little guys that, like, I think the only reason they follow me on Twitter is so when I post something positive about Frontier, they can reply something snarky, like, well, there should have been in since the beginning of, and I'm like, dude, nobody here cares. Like, I'm just trying to compliment the community team or the audio team. Like, there was no reason for you to come here and do that. Like, and literally, you're killing my vibe right now.
And I think, like, maybe, like,
I am on such, like, I've turned a page on, like, energy and, like, what I project and, like, negativity in my life, transcending over to games and, like, what I'm gonna deal with. Like, I was even telling you and Savannah a couple days ago, like, I'm just, like, straight up just deleting people out of my life now. Like you don't get any more chances to bring down my energy. Like, especially when you're an internet rando. You know?
That could be living across the world and never going to meet you. Yeah, you were saying, like, I'm not having negativity, you know, in my feed anymore and stuff. And you know,
this is not, and it's not going to kill my hype for a game that I really enjoy. Like, it's not going to happen anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, I do not mind constructive criticism. You see some of my comments. These people are really passionate. They'll leave me an entire novel. Sometimes I will make a video on feedback that I've received because the feedback's so good. But what I'm talking about is just the continuous Frontier shitting on, or trying to get my attention by tweeting out something like, you know, well, like I just said, like, well, that should have been there from the beginning. Too bad their game isn't optimized, or too bad this doesn't, you know, too bad I can't even log in and play for 2 minutes. It's like, dude, we're not here for that.
Yeah, and
like
I hope
chill.
That maybe, you know, I know that we get very very flamboyant or very uppity sometimes, you know, in our Take2 podcasts, or when we're just kind of shooting the shit, talking stuff. And hopefully we haven't given across the thing that, you know, we hate Frontier and everything that they do is lazy and bad. It's like we wouldn't have put, you know, thousands of hours into their games if not. Like, so I hope that we're not giving across the we like the negativity type thing, because it's draining. And so yeah, hopefully just some people can maybe reassess what they're complaining about so much.
Yeah, and it's like it's weird that Lion Rider just said that about people complaining that don't even own the game. Like Savannah sent us a comment
that's
like
the biggest
last week over this, like doofus sent her like a big long message about like she's crushed his dreams of ever owning. Watching her play is the reason he'll never buy it. But he said that down at the very end, and I'm like, so you went through this whole thing about telling her how terrible of a game this is, and you don't even freaking own it? You've never played it? That's when I was like,
your opinion is invalid.
Get out of here.
Yeah, like,
you can't talk to me about anything about this. You know, like you have no ground to stand on any of the arguments you just made.
Right. And, you know, and I think I've mentioned this a few other times in other podcasts, but it might be like, you guys also got to remember, like, I'm like, you know, and we're both in our early 30s, and we've been playing games since our, like, you know, since we were 6-7 years old kind of thing. So I think also a bit of it is like, I can appreciate what we have because like I've grown up with the game industry essentially and seen like where we've come from Roller Coaster Tycoon and Zoo Tycoon 1 to like where we are now. And like, yeah, I'm not trying to, you know, give excuses for like a broken game or broken features or anything, but I do think you usually tell that like a lot of the younger followers tend to get really uppity more so than I think people who can maybe appreciate how far we've come in the gaming industry kind of thing.
Sometimes, you know, Drew's good at like reminding us like, you know, dude, he's probably 12. Just delete him and go on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you would hate to think like, okay, there's a 28-year-old dude out there like typing this stuff.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's just kind of sad, but
you have to justify it.
Maybe, but I just, we try to justify, okay, it's probably just a little kid, just go on. But sometimes those comments and like Savannah said, he said like, okay, and he told Savannah, she maybe would understand where he was coming from if she was an animal person.
It's like you're talking about Savannah.
Like, you do know she works in a freaking zoo, right? Like that's all she does is hang out with animals all day, and then comes home and plays with digital.
Exactly.
So this guy, this must have just been some weird little troll, but you know, it's just interesting times. But yeah, that, you know, take us back to the original point. The community, which is, you know, you can have pretty negative instances of these DLC packages, are really seem on board with this. So that has been interesting.
I was reading
interesting.
One comment there, and I do agree with it, and then we'll start to kind of wrap up. Christian said, as much as I like the building pieces, I think they should do at least one animal pack per year. There are some areas that still provide a lot of popular zoo animals, but more building pieces wouldn't make sense. So yeah, I do. I don't like completely want to dismiss an animal pack because I do think it's a great thing to have. I just wish that they would do it a different way, where we wouldn't have to only get one DLC every 3 months. Because that's what kind of sets up the C pack to not be that great in my eyes, is that we got the C pack and then there was nothing for 3 months. So if we could get, you know, that 8 animals or, you know, 4 animals every, you know, few months, and then building packs on top of that, just a more continuous flow of DLCs is always my thing, and other people.
Yeah, or even like give us a 1.6.5 or something, you know, I mean, just however tier 0.2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Just drop some little crumbs between the 90 days, you know, between the 3 months. Just throw us
a little thing.
Give us a little snack between those.
Right.
You know, get 60 days in maybe and start hinting about some.
Right. Well, we said it with the when Lion Rider and Leaf were here last time, that this community is literally begging Frontier to give them money at this point. So yeah, like Lion Rider said, give us mini animal packs in between, or mini building packs in between an animal pack or something. There's just so many opportunities that that this game has. So I hope they take advantage of it. But yeah, you never know.
Yeah, and it's like Tove said, they just need to do more with the community in those 3 months, not drop into silence. Like
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I would help them with live streams and stuff. Like if they wanted to do like an 8-hour live stream and have 4 creators do 2 hours a piece or whatever.
That'd be fun.
I would be up for stuff like that. Like if it was, Frontier, like Planet Zoo hosted, and they just needed like us to come in and build for 2 hours while they did some kind of, 8-12-hour stream. I mean, that'd be awesome to break up, just something to break up the silence between the DLC cycles,
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess, after this week, because that's how it's going to go. So tomorrow we're going to get the release. It's going to be a really exciting, hyped up day on all the Planet Zoo Twitters and stuff. The next few days we'll get a patch come out, so they'll still be active on the social medias until the patch comes out. And then, yeah, after the patch comes out, that's when we get to see what the direction for...
That's when it usually goes pretty quiet, yeah.
Yep, so hopefully we'll see what the kind of new roadmap for communication is after the patch comes out and everything.
But yeah, I think everybody, I think, will be pleasantly surprised. Like, I don't want to overhype you guys.
I know, right?
This is the greatest thing since the aquatic pack. But I just think, short of not giving any information out, that what we've seen, you're going to really, really dig this pack.
Yeah,
they did such a stinking good job on this.
I'll say that, again, without I guess this is a review, but it's my favorite pack. Like, bar none, it's my favorite pack. And it's a must buy for me. So there you go. Yep.
This was, and it happened like at perfect timing, right when it needed to happen. A lot of people are going to sink a lot of hours back into Planet Zoo with this pack, I think. Hopefully they have a good rollout, because it says with this stuff goes on as long as I think it's feasible, as long as it's profitable and they still see that cash flow and they still see that interest, they'll keep going with it. Yeah. Hopefully.
Yep. And then just to kind of wrap up here, Toves
don't turn down money to find money. Like what they say, don't leave fish to find fish. Like.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, there, Cody answered. Yes, I was gonna say, for Toves and others asking, what time does the pack release? Yeah, in about 12 or 11 hours from now, or 11 hours. Yes. So 11 hours from now is when the pack.
You guys, I'll let you in on this too. If you want to see our right when they go live, you're gonna have to get pretty stinking early, because we're thinking it's gonna be like when you can actually get your hands on it. Probably gonna be like 10 a.m. British summertime. So we're thinking over here, like where Drew and I are, probably 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning.
Nice and early.
So hopefully they get it rolling and you guys don't have to wait. But yeah, we are like just under 12 hours away, I believe.
Right, or just stay up all night. Exactly. Cody's got the right idea in mind. Nice. So, hey, let's end this with, what are you doing tomorrow? You have a video going up, I know that, but are you going to be doing some live streams after work?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll jump in, because, like I said, there's been so many things that I've held off, like the penguin, rhinos. I'm going to do a showcase video inside Suyana and just kind of show them all, the pieces and what we're getting. And then I think when I get home, I think I want to jump in, start a Southern White Rhino exhibit on streams.
Yeah, so, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll go in Sienna.
Yeah.
Yep. No, this pack was made.
I was telling Savannah and Drew, like, I know you guys are wanting to see more Lost, but I am like 100% back in Suyana. Like, I am just full on. just like Savannah said, this, and you said, this pack was like made for that.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yep. So cool. Yeah. And then, so you got that. I'm going to also be live streaming tomorrow. I do work until 11 a.m. my time, which is 12 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, I'll have a video going out tomorrow with the start of my new series for Tatooine. I got inspired to do a Star Wars Tatooine build this week, so hopefully everyone enjoys that.
I have seen some screenshots, and you guys are going to you're going to enjoy that series, because that is Drew pulling out some fantasy vibes like I have seen.
Man, yeah, I was telling you I had to dig deep into my BeyondDrewTV nature preserve and go a little deeper than that, right? But yeah, no, I'm excited for it. It's one of those builds that it was kind of like how I felt with BeyondDrewTV nature preserve when we first started, where it's like, oh man, okay, like you have the idea and then you start building it in Planet Zoo and you're like, oh man, this is actually like working how I visioned it to work. So then you just like, 6 hours later, you're like, oh, I'm done with my first build, I guess, like all day.
Oh, Drew, one more thing before we go, because I've been meaning to ask Goron, and he may rewatch this tomorrow if he makes it this far. But your bear issue, did you ever hear anything back about that?
I didn't, but I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to mention it. It's not a big deal. Any bugs or anything that happened for us in early access, I won't even mention unless they carry over to full release. But I did. Dahlia and the team have a map from me, so they're aware of any issues that I was having in beta or in early access and everything. So yeah, hopefully we get that all fixed up.
Hopefully they squash that, and everybody's bears dive like they're supposed to.
Yeah, and don't crash their game. That's okay. That's early access gonna early access, right? So
yep.
Nice, but
good thing. Hey, good thing you figured that out for us.
I know, yeah. Well, and I was talking to
just everybody figuring out on launch.
Like, oh hey, my game crashes when the bears try and deep dive. Bummer. But yeah, I was talking to someone else. They had the same issue that I was having, so it sounds like it's not just a me thing, which is good. They can replicate it around. So yeah, the bug was unbearable.
That was unbearable.
Bless, get him, kick him out. Ban Lion Rider for that pun. How dare you? Nice, but all right, man. Hey, my stomach has won the battle. Finally, I have to go eat. It is a thing.
All right, I shall take off, and yeah, I'll probably catch you guys tomorrow sometime.
Heck
Africa Pack of goodness.
Yes. So yeah, don't forget the Africa Pack for us Americans there comes out nice and early. It comes out at 11 a.m. I think, or 10 a.m. British Standard Time, BST. So yeah, for us, that's again like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning if you're on the West Coast. So yeah, fun stuff there if you want to wake up nice and early for the Africa Pack. And yeah, just to reiterate, don't miss it. It's a good one. It's really fun.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Cool. All right, buddy.
All right, well, we'll catch you guys in the next Take2 in like 6 months.
Yeah, something like that, right? So cool. Hey, yeah, have a good one, everyone. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.